folks, welcome back to the channel, and we are back for stage 3 of Sisu Pinkki. This week we are back in Wattopia for a flat, fast course of What's of the Wild. So this is starting off near the main town part, I guess, of Wattopia, and then we'll head out past the volcano, do a lap of Jarvis, and then round the back, jumping back onto the desert section, back over Titan's Grove, up over the KOM, and then finishing back basically in the Wattopia town. This will be a fast one. As per usual, I guess my strategy here is to just try and hold on to the main pack with all the Group A riders, just to try and keep the pace up. Unlike last week, where I jumped in with, I guess, a time slot where there wasn't that many riders, this time I ended up jumping into a much more popular time slot, which was, I think, 6 o'clock on a Saturday here in Melbourne in the evening. And yeah, there's a lot of riders. Yeah, you can see it's like 370 odd riders, although there was only around about 150, I think, that I can see on the screen. So lots of good A riders in this pack. So this is going to be a fast one. And I guess, like I said, the goal is really just to cling on for as long as possible and hope that any other B riders in the pack eventually drop off. So fast start, up to sort of 300 odd watts. And we are going to push on now all the way around over the lumpy section of the S's. And then we will drop down into Jarvis Island. So yeah, the course today is What's of the Wild. This is 42 kilometers with 309 meters of elevation. We've got the hilly loop section to start, then lap of Jarvis, so we've got the Jarvis KOM. We then move into Fuego Flats, and then through Titan's Grove and the Titan's Grove KOM. So you can see here now we're just rolling into Jarvis Island at the bottom of the Jarvis KOM. Got to admit, the pace at this point was relentless. Like, the power I was having to put down just to stay in the middle of the pack was hard, like 400 odd watts. I was actually at this point wondering how I'm going to go here. This is a lot, and I'm only 6 kilometers into the race. So it was, yeah, certainly challenging here, but I decided to just dig deep and just, you know what, I'll keep to the strategy, just keep plugging on, just try and cling on to this pack for as long as possible. So just speeding through the rest of the climb as we come up now towards the final little section, the last little bridge before the top of the KOM. Just had to put on a bit of extra power here just to try and make sure that I stick with the front pack and that the front of the pack doesn't split and shoot off. Trying to give myself the best chance possible here. Up over the top, and finally some reprieve, although not much. Still putting out 300 plus watts here. Oh, you can see my my steerer was on, so which I do use during the race. It's nice that in this race, the steering has not been disabled, unlike ZRL, and I do try and use that to my benefit. However, at times it does tend to flick out. And as we come around the back of Volcano, we are now seeing a little bit of bouncer from the Category A riders. Just having a little whinge around the Category B riders, just saying if they can't hold on, if they can hold up with the Category A, then they're probably sandbagging. did have a few choice words that I thought of in my head, but I decided to keep them to myself at this point. It is something down to the, it is the ZRS system with the points that means that you can, like myself, I guess I've come into this race, and whereas I was only category C 6 months ago, and I can still compete and with the, although I'm technically a B because I'm still working my way up, I am still at this point it seems competing with some of the category A riders, and yes, I should probably at this point be a category A, but yeah, here we are. Alrighty, so probably should talk a little bit about the bike choice for today. So Zwifter Bikes did recommend the Canyon Airroad 2024 with the DT Swiss Arc 1100 die cuts, the discs. Now, I had a bit of a panic on the start line as to whether I wanted to run discs with, given that there are a couple of climbs in this, and that I'll be spending the majority of time in the pack. Do I want to go full aero, or do I want to save a little bit of weight for the climbs and make, knowing that the climbs are going to be the challenging part and there's going to be some attacks on that to try and stay with them. So in the end, I panicked on the last minute on the line, and I ended up going the Princeton Wake 6536s, I believe they are. So still a fairly aero wheel, but also with that lightness as well. So given that I'm going to spend, as you can see, most of this ride just stuck in the middle of the pack, decided to give up a little bit of aero for more weight gains, especially on the Jarvis KOM and the Titans Grove KOM. So now we're deep into Fuego Flats, and at this point I've just been clinging on to the front group, just hoping that all the other category B riders eventually drop off and just can't hold it. And it's around about this point that if you can see the map on the top right, that little green dot, which is another category B rider, finally gives up and manages to drop off the back. So at this point, I'm feeling confident. As far as I can see, I'm the only category Cat B rider in this group, so all I have to do is stay in the middle, cling on to them for as long as possible, and I will have been fastest Cat B in this particular race, and hopefully as well put down a good time for the GC overall time as well. So, at this point, it is just a case of clinging on by the skin of my teeth. As we come around now through the funky village, we're going to come around to the roundabouts and into the first challenging section of the end of the race. There's a small little climb up towards Titans Grove. The pack really not actually pushing on too hard here, which is nice. But then we start. I know it's going to get real tough, and it's going to be a case of really digging deep when we get into the bottom of that Titans Grove KOM. So here we are, just at the bottom of Titans Grove KOM, and things are about to start ramping up. You can see really putting out 500 odd watts just to cling on to the bank. Now I know I'm probably not going to keep up with everyone here, and you can see on my face I am digging deep and hurting. This was tough. This was really tough. But the longer I cling on, the better. And if I do drop off, I realize I just need to pick out a couple of people, and you can see there's a couple of Cat A riders have just given up and just dropping off the back. So yeah, if I can just cling on, just hold on to a couple of other riders, just work my way up, and then from the top of here, it's pretty much a full descent all the way just down into the finish line. And at this point, I am really having to dig deep, and you can see the pack is beginning to pull away. Oh, accidentally swerved out of the draft there. Oh, a couple of riders just dropping off the back now. Yeah, this is tough. This is really seeing who's who in the jungle. A little speed up towards the top, and I've finally up and over the top, and into the descent here. Decided probably best to just hold up a little bit and just stick with the guy, or let the two guys behind catch up so we can work as a trio on this descent. Just using the slingshot effect to our benefit, and basically just trying to keep the pace up. Trying not to lose too much time coming into the final section. Very strange having an almost all downhill finish. It's usually either a climb or a sprint, but yeah, this is on the flats, but this is yeah, very different. So here we go into the final couple hundred meters for the sprint. I decided to put a bit of power down. Oh, yep. Thinking I might be able to pull away from these guys, but they are too good, and they just pull past. Not the end of the world, not really racing against them. Just trying to put in the best time possible for this particular race. Coming in at just over 55 minutes. And over the line. And I am dead. And there we go, confirmation, 55 minutes, 12 seconds. 302 watts with 4 watts a kilo. And first category B rider for the race. So very happy with that. And now I just have to wait and see and how I go in the GC. Spoiler alert, it does keep me top of the category B, which I was very happy with. So next week's race is an individual time trial. Definitely not my strength, but we shall give it a red hot crack and see how we go. Until then, folks, stay rubber side down and have a fabulous week. See ya.